Normally you go from maybe a beer to a nice bottle of wine to a really expensive bottle of wine, but you wouldn't want to go from the expensive bottle of wine down to a beer. You wouldn't want to go the other way. But this is a person who's going to have their style. The Sun conjunct Venus, the Sun and Venus together in Virgo. She's going to have a strong sense of what's valuable, what's not. She's going to be a charming person, very analytical, very detailed, run by her mind, ruled by the Mercury. The nighttime's increasing, the daylight is greater. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying fixing things. I can see how to improve this. I'm on track with that, and I'm improving it for you. I like to see how this could work. Will align better, this so I can fix this, so I can be part of this better. But there's a strong need for this Sun in Virgo, analytical, ruled by the mind, ruled by the Mercury. It's in the 8th house of trust, of business, of social exchange, of custody. I mean, it could happen. Somebody could simply have a kid. And with the moon opposed to this Mars, there could often be the single parent, and she's working to pay for the custody and pay for the kids, and the guy's never reliable or not there, or is trying to be fanatically there at her expense. So you would expect this to be a little more evasive. So Neptune's funny. You never know if it's pathetic or like an evasive or a sad way, or projective and fanatical and messianic and just as gullible in a projective way. Okay, for her nature, which we've seen by pattern type, by moon phase, by doing things, she's inclined to project. So she's more likely to be project and overlook something and miss something and see something and get caught with the gullibilities of what she has. But the Sun confidence, it's important to champion social causes, to do things socially meaningful. This is like a psychologist that wants to help people and appreciates how people get in their difficult situations and try and guide them. It'd be easy to sell insurance or to champion a cause, make money for a difficult cause. That would be a good use of this energy. Just straight business, the gullibility factor it weakens the heart and the emotions. Other people are not as reliable as she would expect them to be. She's the perfectionist in what she wants. And as soon as someone lets her down, she's going to get detached and put her impulses somewhere else. If she's feeling detached, she's going to act on it. But if she didn't, there would be really pathetic repercussions. When Pluto stifled, complicates, confuses, guilt. So if she ever felt guilty for something, or was blamed for something, oh boy, it would pile up on her self-well deeply, and she would have to work psychologically to find her self-worth again by doing something meaningful in the community, trustworthy and meaningful in the community, above the horizon and setting in the 8th house of trust and business and custody and exchange of trust. So normally she would try, it's an immutable sign, it's in a succeedent fixed house. So here she's trying to figure things out, but she's trying to hold steady and hold her commitments together and hold together for what she wants. But continually it spins out and works out, and she's having to hold it together. And that's got to be these extra costs, these extra things. Not like just when she'd want to spend a nice night at home with a lover or with a partner. Friends will stop by, other people stop by, things happen, and suddenly you can get spoiled so easily. Who's to blame? Okay. So we haven't got the experiential thing. We don't know the exact reality of what's coming in. We're working on a character. We're seeing tensions, and I'm indulging my mind and thinking what this could be. That person's going to have lived it. It's going to be normal their whole life, and it'll be a specific thing. At this point, you'd be close enough to ask, well, what's happening? And you'd get a whole big story. Probably she'd be telling you by this time. And what she's going to do, her problem, what she would do about it. But even the Sun is analytical, the Venus is analytical. She's always thinking about her. Mercury's smart, no big problem. So her mind guides what she's doing. She gets good ideas, sees what's needed, and then gets caught in the dilemma of knowing what's most valuable, but having compromised energies. The Mars squaring that, the Neptune squaring it, and then the Moon impulsively going to fill in the need, whether it's needed or not. She'll see this need, I'll do it. But she could create enemies. People that would be intimidated by her doing it. People would use her or could feel she's pushing too hard. Okay, it's a puzzle. She has it. She's had it all her life. She's figured out ways of dealing with her. She wouldn't have got this far. And being in an astrology class, she's interested in the psychological, deeper meaning of things. Certainly, it would be able to guide her actions better. Certainly, she could work with people with special needs and special problems and find ways of making them feel appreciated. That's that 8th house. Oh. So it's a challenge. Here you have to observe what's someone doing, how they're living. But we've seen a whole pile of different, we've seen what the difficult aspects, what points are challenged. The moon is challenged, the Venus is challenged, the sun is challenged. The mind is not challenged. The mind is figuring these things out. The emotions, the confidence is challenged. So she might be very capable and not have the confidence to go for something. Or she might be super, yeah, we don't know which way this is going, whether it's imploding or exploding. Is it possible for her to do business and hold everything together, but she could be very fragile personally? People will know one side of her or the other. All it would take is one family member that's got special needs or problems that she's having to help and pay for and do things for, and that could explain all of this. But if it's not that, then you got to think, well, then you got to ask and find out what it is. But you're already alerted to the need to be meaningful for others and to help others get what they want and to be dedicated, and with Neptune, and perhaps sacrifice a little bit for the mutual trust. Yeah, okay, because like the sun, like Venus, has a square to Neptune, a square to Mars. It's a little bit competitive, aggressive, and gullible. It's trying to Jupiter, good energy, good understanding, but the impatience, the force, when she gets mad or she gets impatient or restless, she's going to make things happen. Can't sit still. I'm not staying here. I'm out of here. Like, boom, she'll come to a party and then she'll probably come to the party, but she probably wouldn't take the time to say goodbye. She'll probably be out of there 1 minute, something happens. I'm moving on to the next. I'm imagining. Okay, I'm not defining it, but I'm imagining a scenario of how this could play out. I'm trying to get 5 or 6 scenarios in my mind so that I'm ready to meet this person and say, well, what was this? You know, there's a feeling of being displaced, Neptune to the sun, from the 11th house to the 8th, of who's worthwhile, who's dedicated or not. There's also a tendency around lovers. I mean, it's possible from the 9th house, what's right, she's got to break away from family. Now would she ever find someone she wanted that would not be a bit of a scandal or confusion to mom? Okay, so we touched into this. Where are we? What are times? Sorry, I gotta move a couple of things here. Move this up. The time. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going along fine. Everybody's got puzzles. And when you start working with other people's puzzles, sometimes you're grateful for your own. Sometimes you think, oh, wow, how's someone deal with that? It really teaches you about, we all have different circumstances. So when we're born, we come in with this chart. We pick up the cultural impressions from across lifetimes, and these cultural impressions anchor in our life. Before we've even done anything, we have a predisposition towards things. And if there are aspects in your natal chart, they will play out at different times, at the extreme times in your life. They will come up and they will play out in your life more than aspects you don't have. The aspects are just allowing us to see the stress pattern of how things are connected to each other. Still, the solution is in the planet in the house. She's supposed to have a job making her own money. If she was in debt, it would really bother her. If she lost someone money or owed someone money, it would really have a negative effect on her. But it would be more likely as soon as money wasn't to be made or things like that, she'd just run ahead and go somewhere else and do something else. She could travel, change things, just keep going, not wanting to necessarily. The road would seem like a more natural place to be impulsive than just being at home. Okay, so then the moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun. I mean, you're each working on people's charts in the class, so we're each doing this. So you've worked on each of these layers and gone through them deeply. We've gone through each of the planets and the signs, each of the houses and aspects. We've done this in detail. So when I'm talking, I'm not going back to the same detail. I'm just touching these layers to make the associations a little quicker. But if there was a big problem, I'd stop it in a second and slow down the categories and go through each category a little more deeper and make notes. And how's this reacting? Just like we did, how does this feel for me? How is it happening for that person? So that would be how you ground this if you had to work it more deeply. So you have the sense of someone who wants to be really meaningful to other people, would tend to go on impulse to do things for other people. She meets someone, she gets, she's going to try and do everything for the other person, but she attracts, because she's so fast and quick, she would attract people who take advantage of her and don't live up to expectations. And then she becomes in a complicated situation, and what's the solution? I'm out of here. Okay, but inside of all of this, you have this very profound Mercury in the 8th house in Virgo, analyzing the psychologist, understanding what's valuable, what's not valuable. Every smart person that's perceiving what's going on between people knows when to leave it and when not to leave it. But even knowing that, when she's attracted to someone, there's a gap between what she has to do, doing everything for someone, and actually letting someone do something for her, which is what she needs. As soon as someone does something for her, she's going to want to do more for them. One up it. Okay, let's look at the Mars. Her Mars in Gemini, the daylight is greater, daylight is increasing, the most independent type of Mars. I'm just doing I'm going this way, I'm doing this way, I've traveled. Let's go, let's take off, let's make it, let's try this, let's go here. Why not do this? I can do this, I can do that, I can do whatever. So it's capable of doing whatever. Whenever it's independent use of Mars, it's ruled by the Mercury. I get a good idea. Why wouldn't I go on it? But it's mutable. It's going to try multiple things. If it gets bored with one thing, it's going to run on to something else. It's usually going to have 2 or 3 things going on at the same time. We don't know if that's 2 or 3 lovers, or whether that's 2 or 3 jobs, or it would get complicated if she worked for a lover or a lover worked for her. But all these charts are anonymous, but I think I could say a couple of things about what she's done. A very smart lady, very good astrologer, has a blog with thousands of people coming onto it, really capable, maybe even got up to millions. I don't know. She's a really capable person in writing and expressing herself. Incredible. But so she does the astrology some of the time, but she has worked a lot of times as a bartender who everybody's pouring their hearts out to. And she's able to travel, be different places and go places and meet all kinds of people in all different places that you would normally think a girl would go and do. Not this girl, she would. What she got to lose? Well, going back is going back into the moon Pluto. Getting free of guilt. Wow. Just being free on one's own, doing something on myself with no one telling me what to do. That's a Mars in Gemini. I'll go this, let me roll, go with the roll. I get wheels, I get around, I'll travel, or whatever. And mutable Gemini, daylight increasing, daylight is greater, air, mutable air, follow my ideas. There's another one, try another one. Great at trying all sorts of things, hard at finishing anything. Okay, so you got that. Then it's in the 5th house, a fixed house, but it's the house of creativity and lovers, of more creative performance. So she has the free loving point energy in the house of lovers, of friends, of lovers, of kids. Wow. So with Mars in the 5th house in Gemini, she's going to have more than one lover. Well, not at the same time necessarily. Well, maybe, but usually she's going to be adventurous, be experimental, meet different people.